Welcome to the SportsCenter podcast, hosted by the 2018 Nebraska Sportscaster of the Year, Dustyn Stortzum. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. March 19th on a Thursday afternoon. Gloomy outside, but we have a good podcast for you today on the SportsCenter podcast. I appreciate you guys tuning in to today's episode. You can listen to today's podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor.fm. If you want to see the visual version, if you want to see my face, you can go to my YouTube channel, Dustyn Stortzum. Type that in the search bar, and you should be able to find me there. But welcome back to another edition of the SportsCenter podcast, and our opening headline comes out of the Democratic Party. Tulsi Gabbard has decided to suspend her campaign, and she has decided to back Vice President Joe Biden for the presidency. Now, she had a couple slip-ups during her campaign, one of which that came out that she met with the Syrian president back in 2016, and then for her views on the LGBTQ plus community. She had later apologized for that back in December. We remember when she went after Amy Klobuchar for her record as a prosecutor back in the December debates, and that caught a lot of buzz on social media. Unfortunately, that did not move over to the polls for Tulsi Gabbard out of Hawaii, and she has finally decided to suspend her campaign. She did pick up 2 delegates during her presidential run, and we can't forget about that time where her and Hillary Clinton were in a little feud on social media when Clinton claimed without evidence that the Russians were grooming a third-party candidate, apparently referring to Gabbard. The Hawaii congressman later slapped Clinton with a $50 million lawsuit. I always liked Tulsi Gabbard. She was always somebody that spoke her mind no matter what. She stood up for what she believed in, and that's something that I can always respect, is if you stand up for what you believe in and not give in to people. So much respect to Tulsi Gabbard, although I thought that she dropped out when Andrew Yang did, so I must be out of the loop when it comes to the Democratic Party, because I thought that she was gone a long time ago. Anywho, she has finally decided to suspend her campaign, and definitely wish her all the best, as she did say in her Twitter video today that if the National Guard was declared that they were needed in Hawaii, she would be suiting up in her National Guard uniform and helping the people of Hawaii. So I can definitely respect that. Moving on to our next story, Senator Rick Scott is telling spring breakers to get off of the beach. Get off the beach. It's that easy. Go self-quarantine for 14 days. Unless you can figure out how to completely be isolated from anybody else, he said. I mean, this is individuals have to take responsibility, and every level of government has to be very clear. Don't be on the beach unless you can be somehow completely by yourself, which is not going to happen on spring break. So just go home, spend some quality time with your family for 2 weeks, and let's get over this pandemic, because I'm really tired of talking about it. And I don't know if you guys seen the interviews on social media from news outlets in Florida, but these spring breakers, I can't even listen to them. I can't listen to them. It's so annoying. They're like, well, man, if I get it, man, it's not going to matter for me, man, because I'm 22 years old, man. I'm just trying to party, and coronavirus has taken that away from me, man, and it's just ridiculous how I planned this for months in advance, and now I come out here and all the bars are closed. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to cancel that flight and stay home. I cannot stand people my age. I cannot stand them, man. Just do the right thing. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about elderly folk. It's about people with underlying health conditions. Come on. It's not hard. It's not hard to stay home for 14. Okay, it's pretty hard to stay home for 14 days because I'm losing my mind here. But regardless, think of other people. Stop thinking about yourself. We're all supposed to be in this together. Just go home, okay? Adding on to that, the FDA announced today, and Donald Trump announced today, that they are making experimental drugs. President Trump announced today that the FDA is making experimental drugs, including those used for treating malaria, available as part of the ongoing effort to tackle the spread of the coronavirus. Trump announced at a White House briefing that chloroquine A drug designed for use in malaria will be made available to test whether it helps patients recover from the coronavirus or not. He said it was one of a number of antiviral therapies to limit the symptoms of the virus that the administration is trying to get to Americans as quickly as possible. So hopefully we can get that passed through the FDA and get that to coronavirus patients immediately if it is working. Heading on over to the sports world now. Joe Flacco has been cut by the Denver Broncos. They have informed the former Super Bowl MVP that he will be released after failing a physical, the team announced today. Flacco was placed on the injured reserve list halfway through last season with a herniated disc in his neck, and he will become an unrestricted free agent. He was 2-6 last season. He threw for 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, almost 2,000 yards with a 63.5% completion rating. But in 12 seasons, Joe Flacco's known as a winner. He's won a bunch of games in his career. He's 98-73 as a starter. Spent most of his career in Baltimore and threw for over 40,000 passing yards. With 218 touchdowns and 141 interceptions. The Broncos will now turn to Drew Lock, who is entering into his second season with the Broncos. He played in the final 5 games, went 4-1 as a starter. Elway loved him. He said that he's going to be the starter next season. And so expect the young Drew Lock, who also has very good dance moves. If you have not seen the Twitter videos, go look at him. Drew Lock is the man with a plan. He will take over the reins of the Denver Broncos in 2020. Heading on over to baseball, Dustyn Verlander had surgery on his right groin and is expected to miss up to 6 weeks with that injury. Verlander has been dealing with the problem during spring training. His first start was delayed until March 3rd because of discomfort in that right groin. He made 2 starts pitching 4 2/3 innings and a 3.86 ERA. Verlander coming off his AL Cy Young Award winner in 2019. He's never missed a start with the Astros when he was traded over in 2017, and he has a 21-6 record with a 2.58 ERA last season and led the majors in wins and innings with 223. Verlander's 37 years old. He's not a spring chicken, but man, he pitches like one. He's another Nolan Ryan type of guy. Won his first Cy Young back in 2011. Was also voted AL MVP last season and is 225, 129 with a 3.33 ERA and over 3,000 strikeouts in his career. One guy that I've always respected is Dustyn Verlander. I know that the Astros have been caught up in a lot of mess lately, but Verlander has always been that dude to me. He's always been that guy. Known winner, workhorse, going to go out there and give you quality innings every time out. And I certainly hope that he gets back and ready to play before the start of the regular season in May. Hopefully we can get back to baseball here pretty soon, and that'll be pretty exciting for everybody. I think everybody's just ready for sports at this point. I didn't know how much I needed sports. I know I work in the industry, I do all that, but I didn't know how much I missed it. Even though when it was going on, I wasn't watching every day, I was always keeping up. I was always looking on social media, what's going on. I need sports in my life. I need to watch something, man. I need XFL. I need MLB. I need NBA. I need NHL. I miss hockey. Dude, I miss hockey. Give me back to sports. That's all I want. All I want is some sports. Going into our last story today, and this has actually gained a lot of traction as of late. Marble racing is the new thing. Speaking of sports, marble racing is the new thing right now. Jelly's Marble Racing has seen a 339% increase in YouTube views and a 999% spike in subscribers in the last week as fans are tuning into the Rojo Rollers and the Savage Speeders and Marble Racing. I love it. I love the idea. Keep it here. We love Marble Racing. I am here for Marble Racing. Let's do it. I'm all with it. There was a YouTube video that went viral. If you guys have not seen it, it's like the Marble League. They had a sand race. That thing was insane. I don't remember. It was the light blue marble that was in first. I had like a connection to it. I felt like I owned the light blue marble in that race, and it was in first most of the race, and then like dropped back to fourth, and then it came back up and it won the race. I don't remember the name of it, but the video in general has 33.3 million views as of today and almost 781,000 likes. It even ended up on SportsCenter. That is awesome. I love it. Marble racing is the future of sports, folks. I actually have a it's marble racing, but it's like this I don't know how to describe. There's like different levels, and then like the marbles can fall off. I used to play with it as a kid, and I just found out that we have it in our storage. So I'm gonna go get that today, and I'm gonna be recording YouTube videos on marble racing because it's time to go viral. You feel me? It's time to get big. So I think I'm gonna go get that little marble thing I had, and play with the marbles. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the SportsCenter podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you again next time.